Hello everyone, it's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajilu Olabisi Ubo, and with me are the ladies. Hello, YK in the building.
Yo. Good morning, good morning, ladies.
How you doing today, Mama?
My network, right? You know, those who know my number will know what my network is. They are cheating me.
Wow.
Chopping my money. Yes.
Hey.
Yes. I got a message from them that, oh, my data, I only have 500 MB left. I had like 3K on my phone. So I bought another extra 4K.
It disappeared.
Within seconds, though.
Oh, wow. No, something is wrong now. You have to
I called them. They said, it's because I'm doing Google. I said, I don't have Google plan. The Google plan is my daughter that does my Google plan for me. But I'm a 63-year-old woman. Where will I know anything about Google plan? I said, I beg, please. They say, it's your, not Google, iCloud.
Okay.
iCloud. Then Google and iCloud. I said,
what
please.
What are you backing up?
That one not even finish. I come because I needed money on my phone. I can't put another 4K. Pick up my phone to make call. They say, all my money is finished. I called them again.
No, something is wrong.
Do you know that they cut off the phone when I was talking to them? In the middle of the... I'm going to write... CPC has to query them.
Yes. That's wrong.
11,000 in one day.
That's ripping off. What's that?
Pure and simple. And this is not the first time they've done it. Yeah. They did it about a month ago.
There's one particular network I don't use anymore because they've been ripping me off. I complained. They said nothing was wrong.
Which one is that one?
I don't want to mention it.
I know.
No, not the yellow one. Color? The green one. So I cuckoo stopped. I've not even loaded again. Nima, how are you doing?
Shock of what YK is going through happened to me. It's the yellow people that did my own. They clearly, it was army robber they did. And they refused to investigate it for us. So I've just moved
to another network.
You know, I'm on the verge of porting.
No, you can port. Nobody can come and stress you, I beg.
To the one that you just left. But now I'm here, your own.
I think so. Is that CCP you should do? But I want to shout out to Salam Adedoja Salam Adeni on her Female Achievers Award from City People. She got an award yesterday.
Wow.
Our big sis. Congratulations. I saw the video.
Yes, she does.
You know, she's refusing to age you. How your drills?
I love her investigative and her and Ivy.
They are very good. They are very good.
Man,
whenever there's a mic in front of somebody at the police station and I hear Ivy's voice,
you want to listen,
The other one is Betty. I think her name is Betty too. She goes into all those places.
That's Sarah.
They're all good. My wife. They're doing amazing. Congratulations. Miriam, how are you doing?
Doing fine. So, Mrs. Margaret Alabi sent us avocados. Remember I talked about how I had gone to the market and the avocado prices were over, so she sent us avocados.
Did you bring our own?
Yes, I did.
Hey! That's because I really need avocados.
Well, it's quite
this one because normally it's avocado juice I drink.
Okay.
But I didn't have today.
Beautiful, round.
Thank you so much.
They're not ripe yet, so you have to keep them for a few days.
Okay.
It's better that way.
You know how they ripen at once.
Yeah.
Well, if you have plenty.
And they're supposed to be very good for losing weight too.
Yeah, so I bought 2 yesterday, but how many are we getting now? So I'll add it to my collection. I woke up this morning and 3 people actually added me to 3 WhatsApp groups, and I was vexing. I think we need to start teaching online etiquette, right? You don't just wake up and add people to WhatsApp groups. You ask them, I'm creating a group for so and so reason. I would like to add you. Then the person will say, okay, go ahead, or I don't like WhatsApp groups. I just woke up and I saw 3 WhatsApp groups.
Just remove yourself.
Oh, yeah. So you remove yourself and I'd actually talked about it with the ladies the other day, and Dr. Ed told me that you could set.
I've been trying to do the settings.
So I did the settings.
Okay, you can help.
When you do your settings, the only problem with that is it's not everybody. It gives you a certain amount of people. So the people that are not inside that they can add you. They can add you.
Are you sure? Because what my settings says is that no one can add you without first sending you a private message.
Yeah.
That's the same
for everyone. Okay,
I will show you.
Check. For me, so I pick for everybody.
Nobody.
Nobody.
So they have to make a request and then you accept or not accept. It's just painful. People need to learn. There's also another one, but there's no time for that one.
There's one that is happening in WhatsApp group where people will go into school WhatsApp groups and pretend they're someone part of admin and they're collecting money.
Oh.
You know, I'd heard that my friend had said that it happened to her, and then recently, you know, I saw another case. So this is what they do now. They just go into a WhatsApp group, reach out to you that the school is trying to raise this money, blah, 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 blah.
And then you transfer money thinking you're doing it for the school. No, that's wickedness.
So please, those of us, it's now a trend to get messages claiming to be somebody. If somebody is asking you for money on any WhatsApp message, ensure you call the person you think it is.
Yeah,
before you
very important. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. That is an advertorial here. So we're just going to move away from that. Wage, Federal Government Labour Science Pact. And I'm sure you guys took stories from the papers. Yes. Okay, so what stories do we have in The Nation? Who's ready to go?
I have the consumer body, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, the FCCP, have started a step they call Don't Burn Their Future, a campaign against underage tobacco access and use. And this is so welcome. I jumped on it. They said it aligns with the objective of the objective
That's
of
FCCP.
Yes,
that's the movie I shot now.
It's because of you I took it. I said
thank you.
You know, it aligns with the objective of the National Tobacco Control Act to protect the youth from the danger of the use of tobacco. And so the FCCP also launched a television series to curb the access to tobacco products by minors, which BC was a main
Faith and Fortune.
The series is named Faith and Fortune. It reiterates the Commission's commitment to implementing the NTCA and safeguarding the health and well-being of young people. It debuted on DSTV on Saturday on DSTV Showcase channel 151 at 6 p.m. To repeat every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. If it's for everybody, it should not be on Showcase. It should be on African Magic Family.
Yeah, I think there's a way they step it down from Showcase, it moves to Family, and then to the other one. Yeah.
So they have it like that, and with the TV series, hopefully they will create the awareness and that. But I want it to be on every platform to get across. It's a very strong, very important message that we need at this time.
They have plans to do that. They have plans to do that. What other stories do we have?
I took the one about the assailants kill a middle-aged man in Ondo. His name is Seidu Jamiu. Apparently, they broke into his house and they hacked him to death with machetes and in the presence of his wife.
Ew.
The police say they don't know the people yet, but it was reported by the wife. So they said the PPRO says no arrest has been made, and they can't confirm that the victim's wife killed him. So they are now suspecting
the wife.
That, but because it was her that complained about the incident. But I think, that's why people run away from reporting
issues like this.
Yes, because when the reporter becomes a suspect.
Wow.
Yeah, I have health experts have called for global collaboration to tackle the increasing cases of sexually transmitted infections. So experts at a webinar titled Global Trends and Prevention Intervention was organized by International AIDS Society. They're discussing the urgent need for effective interventions to combat the spread of STIs worldwide. And some of the methods or strategies that they're asking is to promote safe sexual practices, increase access to testing and treatment, and destigmatize sexual health conversation. That is so important because, we don't like to discuss that because just asking questions already, you're labeled a certain thing, and that is perpetuating the spread of STIs. They're asking for comprehensive sex education, condom access, regular screenings were identified as key components of these strategies. They also said that globally, the numbers are rising, of people just getting STIs. We have over 1 million curable STIs acquired daily by individuals aged 15 to 49. Whoa. And they're talking also that, there have been estimated 374 million new cases of curable STIs, which include chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, trichomoniasis, around 8 million people in this age group are infected by syphilis. So there are also better vaccines, they say, for gonorrhea and better treatment strategies as well. So please, let's have these conversations. Let's have regular screenings. These are not the terminal ones. These are the ones that happen every day that are curable. And if we don't get tested, if we don't have these conversations, we'll just keep suffering these things.
And we should not be in denial, thinking that these people are abstaining. Nobody's abstaining anything. They're collecting, so let them collect rubber. I have a story here. Payment to depositors with a liquidated Heritage Bank, having 5 million and below, will begin on Monday. The Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation said yesterday. So Heritage Bank has been liquidated, meaning the bank has closed. Bata bata. Now they are saying people who have money in the banks will be receiving their money. So depositors with more than 5 million will have to wait for their balance until assets of the liquidated bank are disposed of and money generated so that they can get paid. The Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, was the one that revoked the license of the Heritage Bank. And according to them, they said that by the CBN spokesperson, Hakama Sidi Ali, he said the bank's board and management failed to improve its financial performance, posing a risk to the financial stability of the country. Despite various supervisory measures taken by the CBN to help the bank recover, Heritage Bank continued to struggle without reasonable prospects of recovery. And that was the reason they had to close down the bank. Yes.
It was also gathered that, they had a very poor performance and they had very lax attitude towards banking services. They had a lack of due diligence. They had plenty non-performing loans and it was reaching a very frightening height. And no strategic blueprint on how to recover monies. So, this my paddy.
What worries me about that kind of thing is, could they not have done it in a way that whose money, depositors' money, they will not start to panic? Because now, if I had account with Heritage Bank, I won't even come to work.
What they
high blood pressure would have been
right there. I go just go sit down.
What they have done is secure because they say they have at least 90% of their active loans portfolio, about 700 billion, that are considered lost.
Hey.
You cannot continue to keep money there. It's better as they do it like this. Access whatever is left and make sure that through the Amcon and Co. go into the asset and make sure you pay back depositors.
I just feel
imagine my 5,000 in that kind of bank.
They said that it's only people with less than 5 million that
will get their money first. But the other ones, they will spread it across. So we're just hoping they're able to.
No, this is not Savannah era. You get your money.
You get your money. Hopefully.
Not 2-0.
Not Savannah Bank era.
Let's move on to the Punch. Major headline. Federal government offers over 60,000 naira. Labour may end strike. Negotiation panel to meet daily. NLC, TUC, ground schools, banks, and power grid. I'm working to improve quality of life. Tinubu. Heritage Bank, NDIC begins refund. Highest depositors get 5 million naira. Foreign reserves fall by $1.8 billion in 10 weeks. Water from Benin. Border agency rescues Ogun communities after Punch report. Nigeria, UAE face-off settled. Visa issuance begins soon, according to the federal government. One story, and then we go on a short break. Who is ready to go? Punch.
Okay.
Our president has reaffirmed that his administration is committed to improving the quality of life of Nigerians, and he said this at the unveiling of projects in the FCT. He says that the projects that are being commissioned and unveiled is testament to what can be achieved through renewed hope. He was being represented by the vice president, and what he says is, I reaffirm my administration's dedication to enhancing the quality of life for all Nigerians. What is unfolding the FCT is the testament to what can be achieved through the government's renewed hope agenda of quality transformation of the FCT and indeed Nigeria. He says that issues undertaking hold profound significance for the FCT's residents and also a function of the Outer Southern Motorway will not only alleviate transport congestion and improve transportation, but it will also stimulate economic growth and create opportunities for prosperity. Also commended the FCT minister, describing him as a force of nature. So all in all, it's just saying that the work that's been done, what we see in the FCT is just, a snippet of a lot of things that we're going to see going forward, which will improve the quality of life for Nigerians.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a breather here. When we return, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that?
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the Punch. Are you ready?
So I have the Punch reports that, our external reserves fell by 1.8 billion in 10 weeks. The Punch has records of how the external reserve that stood at 34.4 billion in March fell to 32.69 billion. And continuously has been falling like that. We lost, as of May, we lost 1.8 billion. This decline signifies a drop from the 36.1 billion recorded this month. So the reserves has continuously declined steadily, and the total decrease since February is about 34.4 billion that we've lost. The experts, according to them, attributed it to a combination of factors, including debt repayment, our significant decline in oil exports, a decrease in our foreign investment, and of course, rise in our imports. As you know, we are an importing nation, and the CBN has these records. The Apex Bank, as of January 2024, our debt repayment recorded by the CBN stood at $560 million, reducing from the 2.83 we had in February. Steadily like that, these external needs have continued to affect whatever we have saved. I hope that we're able to stabilize soon.
Do we have another story?
Yeah, so about the water from Benin Republic. They said after enduring years of hardship and suffering from waterborne diseases caused by lack of access to clean water, 5 Ogun agrarian communities finally found relief as the federal government, through the Border Communities Development, intervened and drilled a borehole for them. So they've given them borehole water. Apparently, they used to walk long journeys to Benin Republic.
Potable water across the border. So the border community, if you see the video, very heart-wrenching one. So they had to go to their small ponds and fetch water. And if you see the water they are fetching, the same,
not clean.
Very, very stagnant and polluted water.
So they were just getting diseases. So Punch now reported it on Sunday, April 2024. 14th of April, you know. So it was then that the border responded and built the boreholes.
Oh, wow.
I wish, well, I'm glad that they responded, but I wish people would respond more, because the last one I saw, I think it was on TVC today or yesterday, was this dam that
overflows.
Yes, in some Isheri North communities.
Is this one now?
Flooding the area, flooding it.
Every time, happens every year.
So they have gone to go and build a concrete wall with concrete blocks, but they can't afford the real concrete that will
help it. Okay, so I took the major headline. Say there are many indications that the organized labor may end the strike over the new minimum wage. They said they reached an agreement with the federal government yesterday. After a 6-hour meeting in Abuja, they said the federal government had expressed the commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to increase the minimum wage above 60,000 naira, but they've not given the figure yet. So the meeting, they said, was held in the office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation Monday evening, and it was aimed at resolving the impasse where they had, met themselves. And after extensive deliberations, they said they reached several key resolutions, which we have not heard yet. So there's also another meeting, but the organized labor is saying that they too need to have a meeting with their own organs to decide if they are going to step down the strike or they will continue. But they definitely will hear from the presidency on the amount that they are going to be paying the workers. There's supposed to be another meeting today. Let's see how that goes. But everywhere has shut down. There is no light. This morning, the queue for fuel. After the show, now I'm going straight home because I'm managing no kurukere waka, nothing.
One of these
because I don't know how this is going to.
I have reports.
Last.
All the stations to not sell, and I know they are free. I will not say their name.
Strike now.
They strike, actually.
Are they inside the strike?
Okay, let's strike.
Let's move on now. Support the strike.
The Daily Sun. You heard her yesterday, Abby.
I heard her. Don't mind them.
Daily Sun. Federal government labor decide new minimum wage in a week. I've taken that story. Bad loans, poor due diligence cost Heritage Bank's license. We've taken that story. Fear grips Makurdi as herdsmen attack and injure 6. And I'm sure we have some other stories in the
Yes, I
Sun.
do.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have the Abia State government has said Governor Alex Oti was not in support of IPOB's sit-at-home order. And this he had to say against the backdrop of a statement that had been circulating where the governor was said to have spoken through his special advisor on media and publicity and was alleged to have supported the sit-at-home order. So we have the State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Oke Kanu, says that the attention of the Abia State governor had been brought to, this widely circulating statement. And the governor is, I'd like to use their English, has this Abia State government hereby categorically and unequivocally states that His Excellency did not make such a statement that has been attributed to him, nor does it reflect his personal views or those of the Abia State government under his leadership. It says even though the officer in question has said he was quoted out of context. The governor has ordered a full investigation into this egregious comment, which is at variance with government's posture towards IPOB and other organizations or persons seeking to obstruct the rights of citizens' freedom of movement. I think it was important to put that out.
So we have another story in the Sun. I have one here. So in Makurdi, some parts of Makurdi, the Benue State capital, yesterday they said suspected herdsmen reportedly attacked the Ansa community in Makurdi local government area of the state. They said about 10 people were injured at the attack, which took place in the morning. The Ansa community is located about 5 kilometers to the city center. And, you know, they said, as at the time they were writing the report, they said youth had blocked the road for several hours to protest the herdsmen attack. A resident of the community, you know, told herdsmen that they came up, told, you know, the newsmen that the herdsmen came about around 1 a.m. and started slicing their victims with machetes. So they came in the night. You know, some people still hang out selling things. Those people that sell drinks and noodles, and they just got them and started slicing them. And about 6 people were terribly injured, but they did not mention anybody died. But they had rushed them to the hospital and they were taking care of them. So, you know, people have been speaking up about it. I think the PDP, the political party, that's the PDP State Publicity Secretary, spoke up about it, said that this is a very sad incident and was blaming the fact that there's no law that has banned open grazing, and that's why they still have some of these things happening in Benue State.
You sure it's not their mineral resources?
I don't even know. Do we do leadership?
What they do is, when they come there, they now take over those communities. Those communities have...
They have free access.
Yes.
Out of fear, nobody confronts them.
Yeah. So we're taking the leadership today. Everything here is adverts, but I'm sure you took a story inside. Let's go.
So I like this story. It's the Federal Road Safety Corps. We have the Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal, Madam Shehu Mohammed. He has urged Nigerians to embrace cycling for healthy living and transportation.
No wonder you like it.
Yes, I had to take it. I like what he said. He said that it is the only individual means of mobility fit for all residents, irrespective of age, gender, and class. He emphasized the use of bicycles as the vehicle for promoting health, preventing disease, promoting tolerance with a sense of community, mutual understanding, and respect. And he's also imploring relevant authorities to create enabling road features and an environment that would aid stakeholders and general motoring public in advancing bicycle use.
Yeah,
so he's just saying,
for you.
yeah, no.
To go jam me.
But I like, you know, this is good conversation.
No, we need
to
good
have.
rules
Yeah.
for that.
But as he said, you know, as he said,
You can ride in London.
Do we need
America.
no, there are some places in Nigeria as well. Maybe not in Lagos.
Estates. No, there are estates that you can...
My
People-
estate,
there are
People
people that ride.
stay in estates. Me, I don't stay in estates.
my estate, you
Is it our road that
People that
have
come
been
to my
begging?
house on their bicycles.
Are you serious?
Yes,
You
who
stay in an
ride on their
estate
bicycle?
now?
No. Outside my estate, they come from wherever they come from. On
You
their
to ride
bicycle.
inside your estate. If they go and ride on the road, downfall will just carry them and just deposit them.
Okay, that is the situation today. But what they are talking about, future.
Okay.
When they have done the road, let's start with the road first.
Yes, make
Yes.
it conducive for us to be able to
Yeah.
ride the bike. I would love to ride
Me,
the bicycle.
Yeah, I would.
I can't
I
carry
don't even
the
know how
bicycle.
to ride a bicycle.
I have not. I need to learn.
But I will not have the stationary bicycle in my house. I'll be looking at myself in the mirror.
Our final paper for today.
Hey, gosh.
Vanguard. Labour shuts Nigeria's wage talks resume today. Let's take the stories we haven't taken. NAMA MD wants reversal of 50% IGR deduction in interest of safety. Who has that story?
So the MD of a Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Engineer Farouk Ahmed Umar, has appealed that, you know, there should be a reversal of the 50% deduction from the agency's IGR, internally generated revenue, in the interest of air travel safety. He's saying that there's no parking space in the sky. That will make me laugh. He was speaking at the headquarters of the agency in Abuja. He says that NAMA, as the heart of the aviation industry, was tasked with the critical responsibility of ensuring safe conduct of flights within Nigeria's airspace, including the Gulf of Guinea, and that to fulfill it, NAMA needs all, you know, and their duty to maintain advanced safety critical equipment and recruit and train personnel to meet national and international safety standards, as outlined in their Civil Aviation Organization, the ICAO, and it says they need all their revenue, all their money for this to be done. So it's appealing that the 50% be reversed.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we look at the top stories for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues. Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show is the head sales and marketing, Rolag Properties and Allied Services, Oludotun Olaoye. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show. Now, tell us more about this Legend City, Kobape. What's going on?
Thank you. Legend City Estates, Kobape, Abeokuta. You know, but before I tell you more, you know, with us at Rolag Properties, every project that we come out with is intentional. There is a vision for it. There is a plan for it. We've done Legend City 1, K2Ekpe, was a successful project. We've done Legend City 2. K2Ekpe also was a successful project. Just last week, I was talking about Cornerstone at Mowe, you know, the buy and build scheme, you know, that you can get into. So Legend City Estate Kobakpe is no different, right? This is a project that is conceptualized to support healthy living, to support good life. You know, this is a project that is envisioned to have, you know, greens, trees, grasses, recreational spaces, everything to support a good living. This is a project where you can even build a getaway home.
Oh, wow.
You know, if you want to run away from the hustling and bustling of the season, of the city, you know, Legend City Estate Kobakpe is where you want to buy. If you are preparing for retirement, you know, you are in service and preparing for retirement, and one of your plans is to have a good life, to have a healthy life, Legend City Kobakpe is where you want to buy. If you want to buy a property for your parents, you know, and you want to, you know, daddy, mommy, you need to be in a cool environment.
Fresh air,
you know, everything.
And Abeokuta greens.
Thank you. Abeokuta has greens.
That's a city after
Legend City Kobakpe Abeokuta is where you want to buy. And lastly, if you're an investor and you are looking at a good location to buy property for land banking purpose that gives you maximum return, at the end of the day, Legend City Kobakpe is what to buy. Why am I sure of this? The location of this estate is strategic. Talking about accessibility, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway into Kobakpe is a no-brainer. The Abeokuta Expressway is a no-brainer. And when you have a property that access is not a problem, it is poised for growth and for stability. Not just that. There are surrounding iconic development and activities around Legend City Kobakpe. The Ogun State Housing Scheme is just by the express and is a neighbor to Legend City Estate Kobakpe. The governor's office, the Muhammad Buhari Estate, the train station. Do you know there's a train station around Kobakpe as well? Accessibility improved. The immigration building office is also not far from there. See, when you look at all of this, it's a no-brainer to say that, you know what, this is where you want to buy. You know, so in a nutshell, I hope that's a nutshell.
The very big nutshell.
That is Legend City Estate Kobakpe.
She lives in America. She wants to come and retire in Abeokuta.
That would be nice.
For
something like this.
Please, I would like to meet your friend. Yeah. I would like to sit down with your friend.
You don't say one
Give me your number. I'll send you.
No problem.
Amazing.
So what stage is it? Okay.
Yeah. So it says it's in the pre-launch phase. What does that mean for potential buyers?
Okay. So I haven't said all those fantastic things about Legend City Kobakpe. It is currently at a pre-launch phase. And being a pre-launch phase means that we are offering the plot at a special introductory price. What do I mean? It means that you have the opportunity. We are giving exclusive opportunities to buyers, you know, to have the opportunity to buy at a lower cost.
Wow.
Right? At this phase. And it's not just because, we want it to be cheap. No. Because by the time it is fully launched, right, you would have saved 500,000 naira because it will be launched at 1.8 million for a plot. Currently, one plot sells for 1.3 million naira. And when you are buying at that point, you as an early investor, not just that you are buying it cheaply, so to say, you are also positioned to maximize the potential returns, the potential value appreciation that comes on it. So you stand a better chance. We always say something at Roland Properties. You don't only make money when you sell real estate. You can also make money when you buy. Like now, if you are buying in at 1.3 million for a plot, for example, you've already made 500,000 naira. Because by the time it's fully launched, somebody else is buying for 1.8 million. And the difference between the two of you also is that as development progresses and value appreciates, you are getting more value than the person that is entering at a higher price point. Right? So that is the stage we are in. And that is why we are inviting everybody that is hearing to say, you know what, this is the best time for you to own a plot like a legend in Legend City.
Let's talk about the things that you talked small about earlier. You know, the amenities around the estate.
Yes.
What are they like? You know, the entire thing.
Okay, so I did say that the concept is to support a good life. You know, who doesn't want to, you know, enjoy? You were talking about, you know, pure air, you know,
pure, unpolluted.
You know, the greens. You know, we are taking advantage of what Abeokuta environment already is known for. You know, we are not bringing up. We look at this. The nature here is fantastic. How can we incorporate a good living, you know, in this place? So first of all, good living, healthy living. You want quiet. You want to be fresh.
Sanity.
You want sanity. That is it. Now, much more than that, well-paved road, right? Reliable electricity, clean water, green recreational spaces.
So that reliable electricity, if they strike, uncle.
That's why it's reliable, because there are what's it called?
Other options?
There are options,
Okay.
and options that are eco-friendly. Let me add, eco-friendly, options are there. And this is an estate that is that will have the registered survey and approved layout. Why is that important? It guarantees that the development will be well arranged and is legally secured.
To not be built scatter.
When you have an approved layout,
That's the kind of
you are sure
place I
that, in fact, you can pinpoint, this is my place here. It's well arranged, and is legally secured. So it's peace of mind everywhere. Peace of mind as per living, peace of mind as per I own my property is secured, everything is fine, and that is what we promise you. That's what you get at Legend City Estate Kobakwe.
So what message do you have for potential buyers who are considering investing in your Legend, like my friend?
Like your friend. Own a plot at Legend City like a legend. This is a rare opportunity to actually secure value at an affordable rate. This is an opportunity to actually get into something massive, to get into growth, to get into stability, to get into a future now at an affordable rate. One plot, like I said earlier, at the pre-launch phase now, is selling for 1.3 million, as you can see on the screen. It's selling for 1.3 million. And you can, in fact, people that have been reaching out have been buying in multiple plots because they're like, this is opportunity to get more and more and more and more, right? So land banking purposes, good living purposes, this is what you want to buy. So my advice, what I'm saying is, this is an opportunity for you, right, to secure something valuable today at a very, very affordable rate. And of course, we are available to talk you through your process. Call us on the numbers that have been displayed on your screen, and then reach out to us, www.rolloutproperties.com, at our IG handle at Rollout Properties Ltd. We are very much ready to speak with you and help you secure your plot at Legend City Estate Kobakwe.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Wish
you all the best.
Thank you so much
in your sales.
Yes, thank
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we continue with our stories. Stay with us.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take.
I choose
Ejeki, close the show, Fadala.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get to work now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a trip, a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Thanks for staying with us. We found a story about a lady who says she's 6 months pregnant surrogate who has been abandoned by the intended parents. She took a step to become a surrogate mom for a couple because she needed money to acquire some online certifications. But along the line, they abandoned her. They didn't give her all the things that they agreed they were going to give to her. And now we have joining us on the show a fertility counselor, Olaronke Thaddeus, to help us understand what this surrogacy is all about and how we can do it properly. You can also join the conversation on 081-07641679, 09024163440, and to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you.
That story was heartbreaking. So I would like us to start from with the story, because I know that people are beginning to have conversations around surrogacy. People are accepting surrogacy. People are trying to, adopt it as one of the ways that you can get children if, you're not able to carry your own. And we hear things like, you must make sure that you get your papers right, you go to the right hospital, and, just sort out yourself so that you do not end up like this lady who, got the end stick of the bargain and not very well. So I would like you to, first of all, tell us what surrogacy is about. And with this story, what could she have done better not to have landed herself in this problem?
Okay, thank you very much. And nice to have you all here.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Olaronke Thaddeus, and I'm the founder of Meet Surrogate Mothers Agency. Yes, so we run anonymously, meaning that the intending parents do not get to know who the surrogate mother is. That is the way my agency functions.
Okay.
So when I see a story such as the one you've just read out, it further tells me that, yes, we are doing the right thing, with our anonymity. It's really not a big deal if you have someone a family member that wants to carry pregnancy for you. But don't put really too much emotions into things, and you forget the nitty-gritty of what you should do as an intending mother or as an intending surrogate mother. Okay. Before you embark into any surrogacy journey, for instance, contract is very, very, very key in the program. So both parties must definitely sign contracts. Okay. So that being said, I will just probably define what surrogacy is.
Okay.
Surrogacy is when another woman helps you to carry your pregnancy. Okay, so your pregnancy in the sense that it is your eggs and your partner's sperm, or maybe a third party's egg or a third party's sperm. The surrogate mother is not genetically related to the baby she's carrying, so she's just a carrier.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is being referred to as gestational surrogacy, and that is what we practice and what I know most hospitals in Nigeria practice. Gestational, where the surrogate mother is not related, so she's just the carrier. Okay.
So when you started, you said that your outfit, you insist on making sure that the surrogate is anonymous, right? So
yes.
you know the parents don't know who the surrogate is. How is that a good thing? How is that better than having someone that you know, and then also having them involved in the process?
Okay. Familiarity, they say, brings.
Okay.
Even if it is your family member that carries pregnancy for you, you get to see some attitude sometimes, because I hear a lot of these stories from...
Or you even fear some attitude because, you know, certain excesses will come up.
One woman had to relocate from Port Harcourt because our hospital insisted that she follows through. She followed the surrogate mother to the hospital. So the surrogate mother got to know her so well that, you know, she started embarrassing her everywhere, in the church, in her workplace. So she had to relocate from Port Harcourt to Lagos.
The surrogate mother was...
Yes, the surrogate mother was all around, you know, just making sure, extorting money, you know, all that. So these are the kind of things we try to avoid when we say an anonymous surrogacy. The agency is there to look after the surrogate mother, ensures that she's compliant, ensures that, you know, she's cared for. And nobody is exploiting anyone, okay? So, honestly speaking, doing surrogacy, when you want to do it, then it's better you do anonymous.
So the rights of both surrogate mother and the parents are protected.
So that's why I wanted to come in. So you mentioned the contract, and I'm wondering, you know, sometimes when you enter into a contract on your own, maybe somebody else prepares the document and you're made to sign it. You have these fears as to, you know, what exactly you'll be getting. That's for the surrogate mother now. How do you as an agency take care of her side? What would you say, this and this and this and this that are the things that you would take to, you know, to be in her interest, as opposed to the interest of the parents as well? You know, in this kind of relationship, something must give eventually if they knew each other. You know, knowing that, for instance, the parents of your child are even more well-to-do might increase your appetite for things. And pregnancies differ from person to person. She might not even foresee, you know, certain pregnancy or gestational issues around the pregnancy. Maybe she's required to be on bed rest. She's required to be on BP. Maybe you know, anything can happen before that she wasn't aware of before she went into the contract. So what are the things that you would say you'd ensure are in that contract in the interest of both parties?
Okay, first thing is the medical care available for her during pregnancy. Because, like you rightly said, anything could happen in pregnancy. Morning sickness could come up during first trimester. Okay, so if she's not, if there is no adequate medical care for her, then, you know, she might run into problem. Okay, so a surrogate mother wants to ensure that she's medically cared for during pregnancy. Also, after birth. In our agency, for instance, we still care for them till 6 months after birth, medically.
Good.
Okay, so you want to ensure that, because after birth, medical stuff could happen.
So
you don't want to work with someone or an intended parent that says, after you have given birth, that is it. You don't want to work with such person because a lot can still happen after birth. So you want to ensure that, yes, you are medically covered. You want to ensure that you are also legally protected. Yes, that whatever it is, both of you has agreed on, yes, that, it is being done. Okay, so these are few things to just look out for in a contract.
Okay. So this, can I?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this particular person talked about asking for accommodation. Is that a normal thing to ask for her accommodation to be paid for? Is that something that you do in the outfit? Is that something you encourage that people should ask for?
Yes, I do. It's something I would also recommend, because when you're doing surrogacy, or if you are a surrogate mother, for that period of 9 months, you need all the comforts that you should get. Okay, so for instance, if you have problem with your accommodation, your intended parent should sort it out for you. Okay, and some intended parents would also want their surrogate mother to live very well during that program. So it is not too much or out of place to get accommodation, to have accommodation allowance, to have wardrobe allowance, to have feeding allowance, transportation allowance. All these allowances are there during this program to make life easier for the surrogate mother.
Why do you think a lot of women want to do surrogacy? What are some of the reasons you've seen has led them to want to do surrogacy?
Well, first thing is the medical aspect of it. A lot of women truly has medical need for surrogacy. For instance, some women are born without womb. Yes, and that's how God has created them. This set of women would need a surrogate mother. That's if they don't want to go into adoption. Then we also have some women that, maybe during cesarean section or whatever operation they have done in the past,
they're not able to carry.
Yeah, their womb has even been removed. Some had, what's it called, hysterectomy to remove the womb, So this set of women, if they still have their ovaries and desire to have children, they can still make use of their eggs, their husband's sperm, and, use a surrogate mother to have their baby. Then some other women have series of miscarriages and they're tired. I've met someone that has had 10, 11 miscarriages, so they're just tired to experience all this again, and they feel using surrogate mother would, give them that edge. And yes, I quite know a lot of them that, that was the turning, that really made a whole lot of difference for them. Then, of course, fibroids is there. A lot of women have had series of fibroid surgery done, and these surgeries have a way, later affected their womb, creating scars and all that. So this set of women would also need to use a surrogate mother.
In this lady's case, I read between the lines. I felt that maybe she had been a very overly demanding surrogate. And she was stressing the intended parents. That's why they've cut her off. How do you stop that kind of demand from the parents? Because she said she asked for 40,000. They were giving her, they told her to stay in the hospital for a while.
They abandoned her there.
She says they abandoned her, but if you read the story,
the story is not so...
it's not too straightforward.
It's not too straightforward. There is more to that story. I can tell as well that there is more to that story. Okay, maybe, yes, like you have said, she's overly demanding. Okay, so that's one of the things that comes with doing non-surrogacy. Like I said, I'm an advocacy of anonymous. Okay, so there is nothing that can be done. They would have just managed very well.
So surrogacy in African Magic would just end with the girl coming back to say, I'm not doing it. There was a particular movie, the AMVC's lead actress acted, where she had committed to doing surrogacy. She had even given the child. But when her husband now passed, she now said no.
She wants the child back.
this child, I don't think it's your. You look like my husband because that night, something.
We did something.
Is it possible? That this happens in real life. Have you seen any of these comedies when it comes to this?
All those Nollywood and Hollywood stories. It doesn't really happen in real life.
Oh, really?
That's the truth.
Oh, wow. So it's fiction.
Yes, it is. Do you understand? That is, anyway, let me not say it doesn't, but if you use a surrogacy agency like ours, there is no way it will happen. Yeah. Do you understand? But if you use a known person as a surrogate mother,
anything can happen.
Or you do an arrangement yourself.
Anything,
your friend.
Another comedy. Don't vex. Is it possible that the child has birth mark the same place the mother has and she sees it?
I think I've watched that movie.
It's possible because these things we might take them, but we see them.
But there's DNA now.
Okay, so the thing is that there are two types of surrogacy.
Okay.
The gestational surrogacy, where the surrogate mother's eggs are not used. Okay. Then we now have the traditional surrogacy, where the surrogate mother's eggs are used. Okay, it's either she had sex or they do IUI. IUI means intrauterine insemination. So they take the husband's sperm and inject into the surrogate mother. So that means that biologically,
she's the mother.
Genetically, she's the mother of the baby.
That one is risky. If she not comes back to take your husband,
Hey,
that's not what we're discussing.
It's that one that is worrying you.
Not Thursday. It's not Thursday. We're discussing health issues.
It's part of health issues.
I just want to ask, for your outfit, do you come across people and you think maybe mentally or emotionally they should not be surrogates? Or intending parents wanting to use surrogate. Have you ever sat with a couple and think, after listening to them, you think, I don't think surrogacy is for you because of where you are mentally and your mindset? Do you come across them and how do you deal with them?
Okay. The truth is that I've learned my lesson in all these years that I've been doing surrogacy. Maybe I've probably had one or two intended parents that I wished I never had. Yes.
They stressed you out.
How?
Like having somebody, your surrogate just gave birth, and the surrogate mother landed in a complication, and this fellow just said, "That's all. The contract has ended."
Oh no!
Without any compassion. No.
And she did not even call back to ask
how the lady was.
Yes. Oh. So that kind of person, I think, probably. Although I started doing psychological evaluation now for both, not even the surrogate mother alone, the intending parents, because I don't think it's a normal thing for somebody to carry pregnancy for you, because it could have been you.
Yeah. Yes.
If you hear a lot of
use and dump mentality to just work out.
Women that carry pregnancy by themselves, and something happened eventually. So why would you say the contract ended?
Oh no.
So we took care of this lady. As I'm talking to you, I'm still taking care of her. So she developed some issues, but thank God she's okay. She's okay now. But comparing to where we were coming from, oh no,
this doesn't happen
please,
anymore.
Is there
but there's sorry, let me just ask. It's based off of something I know personally. How about surrogate intending parents after receiving the children are unable to show them the love and care a biological parent is? So is there a way to see before then that this kind of parent may not connect with a child that has been given birth via surrogacy?
Well, I think I understand what you were saying, but the truth is, for each intending parent I come across, I try to educate them. Some have a notion of what their baby should look like.
Like, how do you have a notion of what your baby?
Do you understand? Do you understand? So you will tell me, I want my baby to be fair. I want my baby to be dark. I want twins. I want this. Yes. I want that. So I get to hear all that. And when I see that kind of inquiries, I
take yourself away from.
No, I didn't. I educate them better.
Okay.
The fact that we use a fair person's donor's egg with your husband's sperm, and your husband is chocolate or dark, doesn't mean the baby would turn out to be...
Go bleach them.
We have a caller. Let me pause you before we start bleaching the children. Peter from Abuja, I guess. Good morning, Peter.
Hello, good morning, Lucy and the ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, the lady was talking about an undisclosed surrogacy. So the question I want to ask is, we were told that it's very important when a woman is pregnant that she should be close to her husband. So what happened in the process when she's pregnant? What then happened when she's not meeting the partner as the man? So that's what I want to find out.
Thank you for your question. Very brilliant one.
Yes.
I should answer that.
No, we didn't hear her.
You did, okay.
No,
I think what I heard him say.
So what he's trying to say, when you're pregnant, married couple,
all the lies women have told.
Wait, that it's
caught up with
let me explain it to her. So they'll say, be with your husband. In fact, sometimes when it's about labor period, they'll say, if you don't meet with the husband, it takes longer.
Yeah.
But when you meet with your husband, it makes it easier. So he's asking for a surrogate mother. Who is she going to be meeting with to aid this?
All those notions, please just try and erase them.
They like
to still work for some.
Just try and erase them, So the surrogate mother, by our own, we try to even encourage them not to say off sex during this program.
So they don't contaminate the egg?
Number one is the fact that we don't want to have a DNA issue at hand. Do you understand? So sex is a no-going area as far as this period is concerned.
9 months?
Yeah. So for instance, if I meet a surrogate mother and I ask you, what's your body count? How regular do you have sex? And
nobody will tell you their body count.
No, one said, I can't do without sex. And I said, sorry, we can work with you.
Yeah. So these are the questions you asked.
Yeah. So you said the DNA, sorry, Nima, you said a DNA issue. What would cause a DNA issue? Because, okay, she's already pregnant. And then she has a boyfriend and she wants to meet that boyfriend. What would cause the DNA? The DNA will not enter inside the baby now because she's already pregnant.
Have you not heard?
But this is live television.
Have you not heard of those twins that they
split?
Yes, that two different fathers, different fathers
fertilize
eggs.
It happens.
Anything could.
Is that what you're saying?
Of course,
it happens medically.
Anything could happen during the first 6 weeks, first 9 weeks.
Okay, if she wants to have sex 3 months after.
If she wants to, yes. But however,
she shouldn't.
Who is
Somebody's
your partner?
baby. Yeah.
Have we screened him? Do you understand?
Sexually, so has to be a surrogate partner.
You have to be pure.
And we energy too. We don't work with married surrogate mother, for instance, at Meet Surrogate Mothers. We don't work with married surrogate mother because she's going to deny her husband from having sex
for 9 months.
For 9 months, so
you mentioned, that
that's a lot of
a parent had abandoned immediately a complicated surrogate mother post-birth. And I'm wondering, what are the reasonable period of time, in the contract that you can include that they must keep in touch and, provide further after
It's even in the contract. Do you understand? 6 months. It's in the contract. She signed. But it's just that, I'm on the very cool side. So I don't want to take any legal issue.
I understand.
Just let it go.
I just let it go.
Yeah, but let's
going forward, you have things.
When you take the call, I have a question.
Yeah.
It's there in the contract already.
Yeah. We have Tony from Bielsa. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Tony. The line is not clear. Okay, let's get in your question.
Yes, I was going to ask. Someone like me, for instance, I've had menopause, so I do not think I have egg anymore. So would someone be able to be a surrogate for me if I decided I wanted a child, which I don't want to? I'm just asking for conversation purpose. One, if I decided I wanted a child. Number two, could I be a surrogate?
You cannot be a surrogate.
How will you carry it?
Because
I still have womb now.
We have required.
The womb has retired.
Surrogate
the womb has retired.
Yes, you're not menstruating again.
No.
How will you feed the baby?
It's not even feeding the baby.
No, you don't feed the baby.
No, how will you?
This is now. Let the experts. It is how is she going to get pregnant? That's number one. She's not menstruating again. Do you understand? Okay. Although the fact that you're not menstruating again doesn't mean
that you can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not good
news. You need to go through some medical.
I can scatter almost. She'll just get young again.
And then put her on some
jump across the fence.
From HRT, you get on HRT therapy. You know, that would help your womb at least to take your womb back to the normal size. Then you can now do IVF using third party.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, we have to go. Let's take your final words. What advice do you have for people out there like me who want surrogacy?
Of course,
I won't mind. But
you want to be the surrogate?
No.
Or you want someone to surrogate for you?
I want someone to surrogate for me.
Okay.
But Mr. Man has not agreed. He still wants me to carry it. So what advice would you give to?
Of course, use a reliable surrogacy agency. Okay, so don't venture into this yourself.
Or with a friend.
Or with a friend, or with a family, or just go anonymous. That's the best thing.
Well done.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We have been talking to a fertility counselor, Olaronke Thaddeus, giving us an insight into the surrogacy issue. And that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to yet another segment. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for Inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insight.
Thanks for staying with us. We've had different cases of medical negligence on the part of nurses, especially just recently a child was lost due to negligence and the incompetence of nurses. The professional nursing practice and standards of competency in Nigeria has been questioned severally because of these issues. Joining us to discuss this is Adiola Adetukumbo, Assistant Director of Nursing Service working with Lagos State Health Service Commission. You're welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yes. So we've had different, some of us have actually experienced some of these things. On one hand, nurses, lack of care on the other hand, who of course we have some very good nurses who know their onions and have the emotional capacity to do their job, right? But we have many of them as well who don't even understand. And because of one of these things, I have a personal experience myself on this issue. You know, the child gets either hurt, some other people to lose their loved ones because of this. What can you say is happening in our system? And I know that a lot of people try to blame the fact that the nurses are not paid well, this is happening, the conditions of work are not so good, and that's what is affecting the nurses. But I'd like you to speak to that.
Thank you very much. I would say that's not an excuse. We all took an oath in school to save life. And if you cannot save that life, don't injure more. Don't cause more harm. I hope you understand. Yes. So, saying workload, working conditions, they actually could have aided your practice. But that shouldn't mean you should not do your job as a nurse. Because we all have our professional ethics. There are standard of rules, standard of practice that has to be followed. And every nurse must follow it. If you don't, you hear there are punishments available for such nurses. And most times when we talk about nurse, this she's a nurse, there's a nurse, that's a nurse, I wonder, are they really nurses? Because in this part of the world, a lot of people, you know, they come because they wear white, they've been in the private hospital. You will agree with me that recently, one of the doctors caught somewhere in Ikodu performing surgery, who is just a secondary school holder.
Yes, I remember the story.
So that's how you have them in nursing. They don't have the required education. They don't have the required knowledge. Neither do they have the skill. And because they feel, oh, this is what they do, I can do it. It's true, you can do it, but that does not make you a professional. Because when things goes wrong, what do you do in the case of emergency? That's what makes you a professional.
So there are several kinds of nurses we used to hear. Auxiliary day, chemist nurse, mommy nurse, auntie nurse. You know, please categorize which one is professional.
Yeah.
It's important.
You have the right. You have the right as an individual, as a Nigerian citizen, to ask whoever wants to attend to you or who is attending to any of your relatives to be sure if such person is a nurse. A nurse is one who has the required education, have the knowledge, have the skill, have the competency to practice as a nurse, and he or she has been licensed. Listen, licensed by the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. Anyone who calls him or herself a nurse and is without the Nursing and Midwifery license is not a nurse, because you must be licensed. Though we can't go about with our practicing license, but you can have a copy.
Yeah.
You can have a copy like
no, but if I walk into a hospital and you're wearing white, how will I know? You're in the nursing station.
Yeah. In fact,
I will not be asking.
Be driving you if every time you go to hospital, where is your certificate?
Yes.
I believe.
Shouldn't the hospital be? So I think the question now would be: how is it possible that hospitals would employ nurses who are not qualified nurses?
Now, let me make some clarification. If you are using a government hospital, you know government don't encourage quackery.
Yeah.
So you don't find a quack. So anyone you find in a government establishment
is qualified.
Okay. Such nurses are licensed. Now, if we move down to private-owned hospital, that's where the problem comes. Depending on how your capacity is. If you go to those big private hospitals where they could afford to pay
the
the qualified nurses, you will find them.
Okay.
You may find other staff as auxiliary staff, but the main person that will attend to you will be a qualified nurse. Now, when we move down to our community and locality, please, we need to be careful where we take initiatives. That's where the problems comes in.
I was going to ask, because sometimes it's not just the competence. Sometimes you meet a qualified nurse and she does not have a good bedside manner.
Yeah.
She's
emotional.
Completely, I remember when I was giving birth, the nurse there, I was in pain. She would just be saying from far, sorry, you. She would watch me crawling to the toilet. She would not even escort me.
Wow.
And I'm sure she was qualified. So you meet the qualified ones who don't do their job properly.
Well, you have the right. You have the right to, to complain. You have the right to sue. You have the right for your own health, because she's trained to give that service. So you have the right to ask why she's not giving the service she has been trained for.
When you're in pain, you will not be thinking about that.
After the whole scenario, when you've given birth, well, no.
So how do we avoid having qualified nurses who do not have the emotional empathy to go with the job? Right? There were a few nurses I remembered growing up, because at some point I was sick a lot, and they would take me to the Federal Medical Center that was in Delta State, Asaba at the time, and there was one particular nurse that stood out, who would talk to me, would look at my face, would sing for me. I was a child. I can never forget that nurse's face. I can't remember her name anymore, but that care stood out for me. And we had other people. In fact, any day we go to the hospital and she's not on duty, my grandma will be calling, where are you? Please come. We need you. We need you to come, because I would not want to see another nurse because of the way they would talk, okay, go there, do this, do that, do that. There was no care. And they were all qualified, Federal Medical Center. So how do we ensure as a body that while they are getting their training and competence to do their job, they are also getting that emotional empathy as part of the training? It's a must, and it's compulsory for them to be able to be effective. And how do we check them before we sign them out for work that they have hit that benchmark, aside from just the competence?
It's nursing is not just a classroom thing. It's not. That's where we are trained how to empathize with patients. So we go to the classroom, and at the same time, you're on the field. You interact with patients. There is interpersonal relationship. So your supervisor, your clinical instructors will watch out for all this. You agree with me that in all disciplines, they are the bad ones. But I want to say that we have more good nurses than the bad nurses. But the few that are the ones that people will actually cry and shout. But you have the good ones. Like, if I look at, recently something happened where I'm actually working. A man cannot afford to get the wife's medication. And I saw some nurses coming to me that, Ogami, your son has just been discharged recently and you went on with some of these antibiotics. We have a patient upstairs. Can you bring them? That's part of empathy.
Yeah.
Okay, when we said, how are they going to pay? You know, said, well, when she's sitting down, somebody will send somebody, you know, somewhere to come and pay. We have those nurses. But the few ones that are actually tarnishing the image of nurses are the ones that are on social medias. But the good ones, we have them. You will agree with me.
Like that one that was taking picture.
During delivery.
With her pregnant patient.
Are you serious? I didn't see that.
It was on social media.
This on the show.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So I must
be taking a short break. Okay.
Sorry.
When we come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power. Ginger.
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Welcome back. We're still having the conversation on nurses and also negligence in some of the hospitals. But YK had a statement.
Yeah, no, I was just going to talk about when I took Temidire to a hospital in Ikeja. when he came, he had injured himself. And the nurse, I took him to the first one. They were incompetent. I removed him. I took him to this one. And the nurse was so emotional. She was so nice. She was talking to him, you know, and even when she was giving him pain, he would say, why are you giving me pain? She was crying. I felt so, even me, I started crying because she was so emotional. That is a nurse. You know, but the nurse that will be frowning.
So, Ma, what is the standard? What is the standard? So, is a nurse required to wear a smiling face before she touches her patient?
Cry with your patient.
Or cry with them? Is it, what's the professional standard?
I love them. Crying is not a standard of practice.
We don't want cry,
talk
please.
about empathy.
Yes.
You always put yourself in the place of the patient, that if I'm the one who is on bed, if I'm the one who is passing through this, what will I do? So the nurse is expected to be professional. Not to have a hard face, because the way your carriage should bring healing, your touch should bring healing, your words should bring healing and hope to the patient. So nurses are not expected to wear long faces, frown, shout, be touchy, and start being nasty. You understand? But nurses are firm. So that you'll be able to follow their instruction and do what you are asked to do. They are firm. They may not just play with you and say,
that firmness, some nurses, I stayed in the general hospital for 6 months during a pregnancy bed rest. And one nurse thought firmness is to be a prefect. Sit down. You know, and I was not in a good emotional state because I feared losing my baby throughout that stay. But another nurse stood out for me because she just sort of knew that I needed, you know. So she's firm too. Your baby is not allowed to visit you. This is not bedtime, but you should come and, are you okay?
Yeah.
You know, so what's
the
difference? What's the
That's
difference?
firmness. That's telling the patient the right thing. Encourage them to do it. Madam, it's 8 hours after surgery. Can you sit up? You assist. That's me. You are being firm. But it's for the good of the patient. You know that patient, when she's getting up or when the pain will be there. But you don't look at the pain. You look at the gain. So because of the gain, you encourage the pain. So that's just being firm. But being nasty is not being firm.
All right, Miriam.
It's not firmness at all.
Okay, so as a daughter of a nurse, raised by a nurse, I have really wonderful things to say about nurses. I have seen many beautiful, wonderful nurses.
Thank you.
But that does not take away the fact that there are nurses who have acted, you know, away from what the profession, you know, asks of these nurses. And so my question is, what are the disciplinary measures that are being put in place to prevent nurses from acting a certain way? And what bodies do nurses, what's like the nursing body has to, you know, sort of vet hospitals and see the sort of nurses that they are employing, making sure that these are nurses who are qualified and not just anyone that can take any amount of money to come and work for them.
Hold that response, ma. I'll come to that. We have a caller, Cash. Good morning, Mr. Cash.
Hello.
Are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm good morning. How are you, all of you?
We're fine.
Yeah, please, I want to contribute to this program. Anyway, let me thank your guest. She's very, very educated, and professionalism is very, very good. She has already experienced everything I want to say. And I like Sister Yemi as well. All of you, anyway, you contributed a lot. And your guest has said all I need to mention. And she's very, very, professional. And whatever she mentioned, just try to listen to her. And I really commend her as well. And I really commend all of you. So, because it's a factor issue that we have to let's try to enlighten the public about it. So that's what I just want to say. And before I...
Thank you so much. Struggle to get yes, but we are responding to the measures she asked about.
Yes, I said, you know, initially when I started talking, I said we have a body that controls our education, our practice, our skills. So that same body, that is the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, has the right to punish every hairy nurses if reported. You know they cannot be everywhere, but if reported and investigations are carried out and she's found guilty, of course there are measures. And that's why I said every registered nurses or professional nurses would not just do anything anyhow because their license is at stake. That's where I fit from. That's what makes me a mother. You understand? It's part of me. It's my life. And I let it go just like that because I failed to do what I've been taught to do. So the license is at stake. It could be a temporary withdrawal. It could be a permanent one, depending on the weight of, you understand, the offense. So the Nursing and Midwifery Council has the obligation to sanction every nurse. Even before you get to that level, in every organization, there are supervisors.
Okay.
They can put on a panel for such nurses, you know. If found guilty, it's either they tell her they no longer need a service in that organization, or they just measure some kind of punishment to serve as deterrent to others. I hope we understand. So nurses just don't behave anyhow. But because you know something is at stake, there are code of ethics we need to follow. You just don't. You don't.
So, Ma, what happens when there's a conflict between your duty and that of a doctor? So recently we had a guest on our show whose wife had died while trying to give birth, and he said that at the hospital only the nurses were on call. The doctor kept phoning and giving instructions. At what point does a nurse defer? At this point, it's no longer a nurse's duty to the doctor.
Yes, that could only happen in a private hospital, like you said, where the doctor will be at home giving instructions.
Yes, they do that a lot.
To the nurses on duty. You know, it's their business. And the nurses are the employee. So they obey their boss. You understand? So they are allowed to do everything. But the standard of nursing, we all have our limitation.
Exactly.
The nurses know their limitations. The doctors know their limitations. The nurses know when a doctor should be called. And the doctors know when a nurse called, there is a problem. He does not wait. Because we both collaborate. And you will agree with me that in all hospital settings, the two people that actually work on the patients are the nurses and the doctors. Yes. Others, have other things to contribute. But the main people are the... And that's why most times there are frictions. Oh, I asked you to do this, you did this, I call you, you didn't answer on time. And because of the patient, and nurses are patient advocates. Sometimes they take it personal.
Yeah.
That if this person is your relative, we will delay, and that's what brings friction. Apart from the job issues, nothing more. So everybody has its limitation. But in a private hospital also, there are documentations that could save a head of a nurse, even while working for a boss. And the boss is a doctor, you're right. Yeah. So that when your organization comes up and say, what have you done? Then there will be, an evidence of what you have done, how far you have gone. Most of the private hospitals are not ready for emergencies. What killed that woman was because there were no preparation for emergency. A good hospital must be proactive. In case I operate this woman and she's bleeding, do we have a blood bank? In case I operate,
do we have oxygen?
Do we have oxygen? Do we have things to keep her alive? But we don't consider, there are, like you said, there are laws, but they are not enforced. And the manpower to enforce such laws are not much. Look at the population of Lagos State. How many places will the farmer get to? So It's the public that will help them.
So like that hospital now, shouldn't they have been sanctioned? Even assuming best case scenario, they're not guilty. Shouldn't there have been, because the guy has not been silent. He has been going everywhere, he has given interviews, but till now, right up to this, as far as I know, there have been no sanctions against the doctors or the nurses. They are allowed to continue to be...
Well, I will not actually say I disagree or I agree with you, because we don't work in that agency and we don't know actually what is going on, the paperwork going on. You can't just, without doing investigation and just take laws into your hands. Investigations has to be carried out. So I believe something is still being done, and both parties involved, the government will have called them to a round table to hear that part of the stories. So let's still watch and see the outcome.
Let's talk about Gen Z nurses, for instance, right? See how you're looking now. No makeup, well taken care of. Now we have a crop of nurses who are very young, who want to wear the makeup, they want to wear the nails, they want to wear the long hairs while at work. How are you people accepting it, and how has it been so far?
It's not part of the standard of practice. You may look the way you want before putting on your uniform, but the moment you put on your uniform, that makes you a nurse immediately.
Or once pretty-looking nurses.
No matter the hair you are carrying, it must not touch your neck. So even this one, I pack up. Because that's the standard.
No makeup?
You can, but it must be very, very moderate. Not the one that will be shouting.
Not wedding makeup.
No.
Makeup.
And your nails must be short.
No, your nails must be short, because even for your own good, if you carry long nails, then you carry germs home. You infect yourself. You know, we talk about hospital-acquired infections. So you touch patients, you touch surfaces. So you take home infection, you infect. So for your own good, it's better your nails are just short and clean, so that when you have dirt under them, it will be visible.
Wow.
Paint, uncle.
That's why I said they must
be short.
Plain, short and plain.
Okay.
So that when you have...
You're not allowed to paint colors?
No, on your... That's your fingernails, no. But you can do that on your toenails.
Oh, okay. Now, what about the nurses that take care of old people? We've had some, reports that sometimes they are not very caring towards these old people. They just, push them around and all of that. Does your body pay attention to some?
Well, the people who did geriatric nursing, we call them geriatric nurses. They are actually trained. But the few ones I see on the social media recently are caregivers. They are not nurses. Yes, they are caregivers. Caregivers are quite different. They are just trained to take care of the old people.
They are not nurses.
They are not nurses. But the nurses who work in old people's home, they are actually trained, and they are there for preventive, so that they don't get infection. If they have, they are there to promote their health. They are there to rehabilitate. They are there to reassure. You understand? And there are other people working with them. You understand? But the qualified nurses are not the ones we'll see on social media pushing the old people. One fell, one hit his head, and when we went through, they are just caregivers.
So nursing seems like such a tough job.
Yeah,
it is.
And I would like to ask you personally, if you find joy from nursing, and what gives you that joy?
Well, I'll say I'm a born nurse. I love what I'm doing. When I became a nurse, I just love it and I went into it. Really, I wanted to be in the hospital setting. But actually, I don't know what I really wanted to do. I later decided to do dentistry, and my cutoff point for JAM was not really meeting up. Somebody said, but you want to work in the hospital. Do you like being a nurse? I said, okay, will I work with people? She said yes, and that was how I was introduced. And I find joy from a student nurse. And I've been working, like I said, for over 22, almost 25 years. I left school, and I've always enjoyed every bit of it, because I always have somebody to talk to. I have somebody to give hope to. I have somebody to reassure. I have somebody to monitor. I have somebody to hear good news from. I have somebody to empathize with.
You love your job.
Well done. You have brought me to my next
question.
Problem with nurses.
Okay.
When my sister was dying, the hospital, the nurses, instead of treating my sister, they were praying.
Hi. Same happened.
I don't understand.
They were praying for her. I mean, already, she's in a bad state.
Okay.
I believe that even if you want to pray for her, pray in your mind, not to the patient that is dying. A lot of hospitals do that. They leave the work because what you are doing, you are supposed to be providing her care.
Oh, this is our country.
Not sitting down and praying for her. I walked into her room one day. She was really upset. She was visibly upset. She was dying already.
Ew.
And you are sitting down there and you are praying for her. I was upset.
They told me to speak in tongues. Yeah. You know, said, Madam, Shebi, you can speak in tongues.
What do you do about these complaints? There are many.
No, they have conflicts in their roles because they are not allowed. You can actually pray inside of you that, wow, there are some conditions that you know they are terminal cases, that this patient is going to die. There is no hope. You know, you don't have to bring your religion to your job. You know, most Nigerians are just religious.
I was going to ask, you know, earlier, apart from my experience, apart from, you know, midwives, nurses just, you know, sort of help you to manage your pills, check your vitals, you know, their care is not really that as intrusive as that of a doctor. And what exactly would a midwife even do that it makes her come into a patient, you know, help to deliver, touch her and all of that? What's the difference between that?
Well, like I said, everybody has their roles. All roles are unique. There is no one that what he or she does is irrelevant. For a midwife, when you talk about, you know, vaginal deliveries, they owns it. They don't see a doctor coming to take vaginal delivery, except there are complications.
Them?
For induction, you get the doctor to assess. You know, the work of the doctor is more of curative. So you get them to assess, okay, this patient can no longer continue in labor all by herself. We need to assist. So they can do that while the midwives continue to monitor until the delivery is achieved. But for touching, for hearing, for heartbeat, for checking your tummy, for checking you from head to toe, monitoring your diet, monitoring your vitals, making sure everything about you is okay for the baby, it's the work of the nurse. You know, I think in the 80s then, or early 90s, where nurses also, the midwives, they are allowed to have their midwives clinic. If you ask me. Before things overrule it. That's what they do. It's only patients who you envisage that, look, vaginal delivery, like I said, will not be okay. Then you will make a referral.
21.
So everybody has their own role and their part to play in the care of the patients.
Thank you so much, Ma, for joining us on the show today. We really enjoyed your insights, and I hope that everybody's watching. Now we know how to hold our nurses accountable, and we hope that the bad ones will be fished out so that they stop spoiling the names of nurses. We believe that we have very good nurses who love their job, who care for their patients, and who we love to see from time to time.
Thank you.
That's all we can take on the show today. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.